My 2 young pear trees were devastated by a rabbit the previous winter. I had no choice but to chop them down. Since the trunk protections were not at the same level for both trees, the trees were cut down at slightly different heights to save as much of the trunks as possible on each tree. On the left it's a Barlett and on the right it's a Summercrisp. I got these crafted trees from a big box store with no indication about the rootstocks, so I assume both trees are on a standard rootstock with no dwarfing characteristics. I planted my 2 pear trees in the same hole in my small garden, so the pruning I'm about to do in this video is adapted to this configuration. After a year, the size difference between the pear trees and the nectarine tree next to them has widened, but I'm not too concerned for now with the nectarine tree overtaking the pear trees. I will do a summer pruning on the nectarine tree later on. Even though it's recommended to prune pear trees when they are still dormant in late winter, I'm going to do a summer pruning to shape them. Also, summer pruning does not promote as much growth as winter pruning does, which is what I want, to control the size of the trees in my small garden. Both trees have recovered well. They have branched out nicely, which gives me some options to shape them with a central leader structure. The height difference between the 2 pear trees has increased, so first I equalize the heights by pruning the central leader of the Summercrisp on the right. Next, I remove all the branches pointing inwards. The easiest way to do that is to picture the trees forming a single tree, with the space between the 2 trunks forming a single trunk. People sometimes plant more than 2 trees in the same hole. In my opinion, 3 or more trees in the same hole can restrict access to sunlight. It also makes each individual tree a little bit more unbalanced, and they may end up requiring some form of bracing. Beyond 2 trees in the same hole, I think grafting is a better option. What you get with 2 trees in the same hole, besides maximizing the use of space, is an insurance policy in case one of the rootstocks dies. Believe it or not, I initially got another Summercrisp pear tree that was affected by fire blight at the rootstock. Fortunately, I detected the issue soon enough and the store agreed to replace the tree. The replacement Summercrisp I got also suffered from fire blight, but above the rootstock. Summercrisp is resistant to fire blight above the rootstock. After the rabbit forced me to chop down more than half of the tree, the fire blight never came back. After the thinning cuts, I now move on to heading cuts to shorten the lateral branches and make sure they remain below the central leader. In the process, I like to bend the branches to see how they will look like before deciding to prune. This is because I'm not only going to prune the trees, I'm also going to train them. Training allows me to make better use of the volumes around the trees. What is interesting to notice is that because the trees were cut at different heights, the sets of branches are alternately layered, which can help reduce crossing branches in the future. After 2 weeks, the Barlett on the left has formed new buds. The top bud on the central leader has even opened. The Summercrisp on the right, however, did not produce any new buds. This is fine with me, as the Summercrisp has grown faster the previous season. Maybe the Barlett decided to play catch-up. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, Give me a thumbs up and subscribe for updates.